Have you ever wondered what truly made Michael Jordan different? What turned him from just another talented player into the greatest of all time? It wasn't only his skill, his jump shot, or his trophies. It was the fire inside him. Every slight, every doubt, every word against him became fuel. Jordan didn't just play the game, he took it personally. He once said, "When someone thinks they can guard me or forgets who I am, I take that personally." And he meant it. That mindset shaped his entire career. It turned small moments into motivation and challenges into victories. In this video, we're counting down the top 10 times Michael Jordan took things personally. The moments when pride turned into power, when revenge became history. These are stories of pure focus, passion, and the unshakable will that made him unstoppable. Before we jump in, make sure to like this video, subscribe to GOAT Report, and turn on the bell so you never miss another story about the legends who changed the game forever. Now, let's dive in. 10. Feeling overlooked. When comparisons didn't sit right. Early in his career, Michael Jordan hated when people doubted him or tried to compare him to others. When fans and reporters started saying that Clyde Drexler might be on his level, Jordan took it personally. To him, that meant people were forgetting who he was. So, when the 1992 NBA Finals began against Drexler's Portland Trail Blazers, he made a point to prove a statement, not with words, but with performance. In Game 1, Jordan exploded for 35 points in the first half, hitting 6 three-pointers. After the last one, he turned to the crowd and simply shrugged, as if to say, "What can I say?" That moment, the famous Shrug Game, wasn't just confidence. It was Jordan showing the world that, when you question him, he'll make you remember why he's the best. 9. Nice game, Mike. When a role player embarrassed him. In 1993, something strange happened. A young player named LeBradford Smith from the Washington Bullets scored 37 points against Michael Jordan's Bulls. It was one of the best games of Smith's career, and it didn't sit well with Jordan. After the game, Jordan claimed Smith told him, "Nice game, Mike." Later, Jordan admitted he might have made that up. He didn't even need it to be true. He just needed a reason to get fired up. The very next night, when the Bulls played the Bullets again, Jordan went off. He scored 36 points in the first half alone and finished with 47. Chicago won easily. It was his way of saying, "No one shows me up." That night proved something about Jordan. It didn't matter if the insult was real or imagined. If it gave him motivation, he'd turn it into fuel and destroy you with it. 8. The Detroit Pistons, the Bad Boys, and the Summer of Hate. In the late 1980s, the Detroit Pistons were Michael Jordan's biggest obstacle. They were tough, physical, and had one mission: stop Jordan at all costs. They hit him, shoved him, and used the famous Jordan rules to wear him down. Every time he drove to the basket, he got knocked to the floor. And the Pistons didn't just play rough, they smiled about it. Jordan took that personally. He hated how they tried to bully him out of greatness. So instead of complaining, he and the Bulls went to work. They got stronger, tougher, and smarter. By 1991, the Bulls finally beat the Pistons and swept them out of the playoffs. That moment wasn't just a win, it was payback. The pain and frustration from those earlier losses became the fuel that built a champion. 7. Jerry Krause's comments, when the front office became the enemy. Jerry Krause, the Bulls' general manager, once said, "Organizations win championships." He meant that teams need good management, coaches, and structure. But Michael Jordan took it another way. To him, it sounded like Krause was saying the players didn't matter as much, and Jordan didn't like that one bit. He took it personally and turned it into motivation. From that point on, he played with even more focus and intensity. Every win became a message, proof that players, not front offices, make history. For Jordan, it wasn't just about scoring or trophies. It was about pride. He wanted the world to know that championships are earned on the court, not behind a desk. 6. The Shrug Game, 1992. In Game 1 of the 1992 NBA Finals, Michael Jordan was on fire. He couldn't miss. Shot after shot went in. 6 three-pointers in the first half, setting a finals record. He scored 35 points before halftime and left everyone stunned. Then came the moment everyone remembers. He turned toward the broadcast table, lifted his hands, and gave a little shrug. That shrug wasn't cocky. It was almost playful, like he couldn't believe it himself. But deep down, it carried a message. You didn't think I could do that? Well, I just did. It was Jordan's perfect mix of confidence and competitiveness, turning doubt into dominance, just like he always did. 5. The Shot versus Craig Ehlo, 1989. In the first round of the 1989 playoffs, the Bulls were facing the Cleveland Cavaliers in a tight Game 5. Everything came down to the final seconds. Michael Jordan got the ball, rose up over defender Craig Ehlo, and hit one of the most iconic shots in NBA history, the buzzer beater that won the game and the series. That moment wasn't just about a win, it was about belief. The Cavs thought they had the series wrapped up, but Jordan refused to accept that. He saw the chance to take control and remind everyone who he was. When that shot went in, it wasn't just victory, it was a message. If you doubt Michael Jordan, he'll make sure you remember why that's a mistake. 4. The Push-Off or No Push-Off. The Shot versus Byron Russell, 1998. Game 6 of the 1998 NBA Finals. Bulls versus Jazz. The clock was ticking down and the world was watching. With under 20 seconds left, Michael Jordan stole the ball from Karl Malone, dribbled calmly up the court, and faced Byron Russell one-on-one. With a quick crossover, he created just enough space, pulled up, and hit the jumper with 5.2 seconds left. The Bulls took the lead, 87-86, and went on to win their 6th championship. Some said Jordan pushed off Russell's hip before the shot, but that didn't matter. What mattered was what that moment represented: pure focus, confidence, and the will to finish what he started. It was more than just a game winner. It was the perfect ending to his era with the Bulls. The last dance, the final statement, the ultimate "I took it personally" moment. And Jordan owned it completely. 3. The Flu Game, or physical toll. As motivation, in the 1997 NBA Finals against the Utah Jazz, Michael Jordan played one of the most unforgettable games of his career, the Flu Game. He was extremely sick, barely able to stand at times, but he still went out and scored 38 points in Game 5. He later said it was the flu, though some believe it might have been food poisoning. Whatever it was, he was clearly in pain, but he refused to quit. Jordan knew his body was weak, but his pride and will to win were stronger. He pushed through every ounce of discomfort because, to him, being hurt wasn't an excuse. It was just another challenge to overcome. That night, he proved that his mind was even tougher than his body. 2. Returning from baseball. I'm not done. After his first retirement to play baseball, Michael Jordan made his return to the NBA in March 1995. In his first home game back, he dropped 55 points against the New York Knicks, a performance that instantly reminded everyone who he was. His return wasn't just about basketball, it was a statement. People had started to question if he could still dominate after being away from the game. Jordan took that personally. His answer came not through words but through action, by showing the world that his era wasn't over. This moment was about identity, about refusing to let anyone else decide when his time was up. 1. The entire career mindset, taking things personally every night. If there's one moment that truly defines Michael Jordan, it's not just a single game, it's his whole career. From being cut from his high school team to being doubted by rivals and even underestimated by some teammates, every bit of criticism became his fuel. In The Last Dance documentary, Jordan clearly said that he used every little insult or doubt as motivation to push harder. That's what made him different. He turned disrespect into drive, doubt into victory, and every challenge into part of his legend. His story shows how powerful it can be when you take things personally and use them to rise higher. Why this matters. Jordan's story shows that true greatness is deeply emotional. His success didn't just come from talent. It came from the fire inside him. He didn't wait for motivation to appear. He created it himself, often from the smallest doubts or insults. What makes his revenge moments powerful is that they weren't about proving others wrong just to feel better. They were about pushing himself to win and leave a mark on history. His story connects with everyone who's ever been doubted or overlooked. It reminds us that even when people don't believe in you, you can use that as energy to reach your best. Wrap up. Michael Jordan's story isn't just about 6 championships, 5 MVPs, or a global brand. It's about his mindset. He turned every doubt, insult, and challenge into motivation. When someone said, "You can't guard me," Jordan answered, "Watch me." When someone compared him to another player, he said, "I'll be better." And when a game started to slip away, he found a way to take over and rewrite history. That's what made Jordan special. He didn't just play basketball, he fought basketball. He turned every slight into fuel and every loss into a lesson. That's what it means to take things personally and still walk away a legend. If you enjoyed this story of grit, pride, and ultimate revenge, make sure to like this video, subscribe to GOAT Report, and turn on the bell so you never miss another story about the greatest moments in sports history. And tell us in the comments, which Jordan took it personally moment is your favorite? Or which one surprised you the most? Thanks for watching, and remember, greatness isn't given, it's earned.